And are you much of a car park scrapper?
No, but if I need to...
That's Rory McIlroy, not celebrating a birdie, but screaming at a caddy in a parking lot. Yes, a caddy. Welcome to the Ryder Cup, golf's so-called gentleman's game.
We have strayed from a winning formula.
Yeah, I had a different philosophy as far as being a captain.
Where players threaten each other with one irons. Captains get mutinied in press conferences, and national pride boils into open hostility. This isn't cucumber sandwiches and polite applause. This is golf's fight club. And these are 8 times the Ryder Cup nearly broke into fisticuffs. 2016, Rory versus the Hazeltine crowd. In Minnesota, he wasn't just facing the Americans across the tee. He was facing thousands in the gallery. By Friday, the heckling was relentless.
We get the banter when we go over to the States and play, and, you know, the same happens here.
Every shot, every putt, every breath, booed. So he fought fire with fire. He buried a monster putt, bowed like a Shakespearean villain, and pumped his fists like a heavyweight. By Saturday, security was ejecting fans. When he met Patrick Reed in singles, it wasn't a golf match. It was a prize fight. Golf, the only sport where bowing counts as light taunting.
The play between these two players is something just unbelievable.
Then he gives the I can't hear you and just starts going absolutely insane.
Booing is one thing. Roasting your own captain, that's another level. On to Phil Mickelson versus Tom Watson. 2014. At Gleneagles, Europe cruised. The real fireworks came after. Phil was asked a simple question. What worked in 2008? Sitting 2 feet from Captain Tom Watson, he answered brutally. He praised Paul Azinger's leadership.
Paul Azinger did. One was he got everybody invested in the process.
He praised teamwork and planning at Valhalla, then made it painfully clear. None of that happened under Watson. Teammates stifled laughs. Watson froze, face reddened.
And I felt I based my decisions on, yes, I did.
He didn't just throw his captain under the bus, he reversed and ran him over twice. The fallout. America changed how it picks captains. Words sting, but grudges, they last longer. Faldo versus Sergio, and the comeback line heard round Europe. Faldo's captaincy flopped. Years later, he twisted the knife, calling Sergio useless.
No majors. He's been spectacular during the Ryder Cup.
Most of them.
Still hurts, eh?
Well, yeah, mine was useless. Half a point, bad attitude. Anyway, we move on 6 years later.
Sergio answered with his clubs, not words. In 2018, he passed Faldo as Europe's all-time Ryder Cup points leader. Asked what it meant, Sergio said, "This means a lot to me. I have passed some of my heroes today." And Nick Faldo. Faldo called him useless. Sergio made Faldo useless in the record books. If shade was a strategy, Monty turned it into a game plan. Valderrama, 1997, Montgomerie's insult tour.
Which wasn't for Seve, we had to win.
Colin Montgomerie skipped practice and chose provocation. Tiger Woods, no better than him. Phil Mickelson, unreliable. Jeff Maggott, not intimidating. Brad Faxon, distracted by divorce. It was savage, personal, needless. The Americans fumed. Monty ended up writing handwritten apologies. Enough with the quips. Number 4 gets combative. Kiawah Island, 1991. Captain Dave Stockton wants combative, and everyone gets the memo. Camouflage caps appear. The opening ceremony feels less golf and more parade. A local radio DJ allegedly shares the Europeans' hotel numbers for some midnight morale building. Even the hype video at the joint dinner forgets there are 2 teams. By Sunday, it isn't a rivalry, it's a weather system. Hale Irwin's ball vanishes into the crowd and then reappears, like a card trick with consequences. Bernhard Langer faces a putt with the weight of 2 continents and misses by molecules. The Americans erupt, Europe stews, and the Ryder Cup changes shape. From then on, it's choreography, psychology, and occasionally camouflage. That was the fuse. 3 is detonation. Sunday at Brookline turns feral, in the friendliest possible way. The Americans mount a comeback fit for a museum. Justin Leonard drops that putt and the green becomes Times Square on New Year's. Except Jose Maria Olazabal still has to put. Depending on your passport, it was joyous over-exuberance or a small sporting apocalypse. Sam Torrance called it the most disgraceful and disgusting day in the history of professional golf. And he wasn't just talking about the charge. Jeering from the stands, players stoking it, and reports of a fan spitting at a European player's wife. 5 years later, headlines were still calling it a day of shame. The cup ended up American. The memory ended up permanent. Petty becomes personal. Personal becomes Seve. 1987 to 95.
Seve's gone absolutely mental.
See what this son of my bitch said? He said this, he said that. He killed these son of my bitches.
From 1987 to 1995, it didn't matter the year. It was Seve against America.
Did you switch in the compression on the tee?
I don't think so.
You did? I'm sure. You did a couple of times.
What hole?
He carried a continent on his back. In 87, he chipped in on Curtis Strange and fist-pumped in his face. By 91 at Kiawah, it was chaos. Coughing during swings, arguments over scuffed balls, name-calling across the fairways. Then Oak Hill, 1995. Bad back, wild driver. Yet he volunteered to lead off. He missed every fairway on the front nine, but saved holes with pure magic. Tom Lehman called it the greatest 9 holes I've ever seen. Win or lose, Seve turned golf into combat theatre. Seve didn't just beat opponents, he moved into their heads and redecorated. Seve's spirit still runs through Team Europe, guiding young Padawan McIlroy. 2023. Rory versus Joe LaCava. Hatgate.
This just moments ago, and Rory is hot. He's got a message at a...
Patrick Cantlay drains a 43-footer. His caddy, Joe LaCava, waves his hat. In Rory McIlroy's putting line, Rory snaps. Words on the green. Hours later, he's still raging in the parking lot, pointing, shouting, Shane Lowry holding him back as cameras roll. When a caddy becomes public enemy number 1, the Ryder Cup has gone feral. The Ryder Cup, golf's ultimate team competition and golf's favourite pressure cooker. From camouflage caps and green invasions to mutinies and parking lot arias, this isn't about birdies. It's about pride, pettiness and national identity with a scorecard. Every few years it edges toward an actual fistfight, then remembers it owns a dress code. Gentleman's game? Absolutely. If the gentlemen are one bad putt away from forming a crowd. If we missed your favourite meltdown, drop it below. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back the next time etiquette meets adrenaline.